Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I appreciate your continued support. I really wasn't going to do a podcast on this because I didn't know what I was going to say or what to say. By now, everyone has seen the first presidential debate, which it was trash. Let's just start there. So, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was horrible. It was just bad. It was just really bad. It was not the shining moment for Biden, but it was absolutely disgraceful on 99 loof balloon levels for Trump. I just can't. I don't know what was better, the recap afterwards or the debate itself. I watched on CNN. The recap afterwards, when Jake Tapper said the debate was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck. And then Dana Bash came bringing up the rear and said that it was a shit show. And I don't even know what else to say other than, you're right, because it was. Y'all know I don't do the whole cussing thing on social medias. I don't think I've ever cussed on social media, but I'm just quoting what was said. And they're not lying. They told the truth like it ain't nobody's business. Okay? Like, seriously. This is the most unpresidential debate I have ever seen in my entire life. And I will tell you this. I know a lot of you are new listeners. Welcome. If you know my background is in media, communications, and, entertainment and all of that. I started out in journalism media, and then it moved over into the communications with television and entertainment and stuff like that. So, listen, I've been in some green rooms. I've seen debates. I've been on Capitol Hill. I worked for a private company that was providing legislative tracking services to the House, the Senate, embassies. Listen, I did that job. I was there for 11, 12 years in the political arenas. And let me tell you something. I have never, and I've seen some unsavory things, okay? Things that I would never repeat. But this was trash. This was all the trash on a Saturday night at 4 o'clock in the morning in New York City. And I'm a New Yorker, so I can say that. This was trash. With all the rats running across it. That's what that was. I don't even understand. First of all, the moderator, he got to go. Hopefully he's not moderating the next one or the one after that or even the vice presidential one, because the vice president debate is coming up in a week. And then we got 2 more presidential debates. Listen, Chris Wallace, thank you for your services. But you got to go. Because And I don't even know. I'm like I'm at a complete loss. Like, I just don't understand. This country is in a bad way. This is what my grandfather used to say when somebody was in deep trouble. They're in a bad way. You know how the old school people used to say, this country is in a bad way because we can't have another 4 years. I am not in the business of forcing people, telling you who you need to vote for or whatever, but I'm telling you. I'm not telling you, but I'm telling you. You cannot have another 4 years of this. This is the most hateful, the most egregious time in the history, literally, in the history of the presidency, and the way that this man has desecrated the office. And we've had some pretty rebel-rousing type presidents in the past. I mean, after all, there's been 45 of them now. But this is the most, just the most ridiculous display that I think I have ever known for myself, and also read in any book. Even elders who are older, in their 80s and their 90s, have seen nothing like this. And they're twice the age I am. So I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I'm beyond words. I'm just going to give my highlights, and we're just going to put it at that. But we can't do this another 4 years. I loved the fact that Biden spoke to the American people. Even when Trump came for him personally about his children, he spoke to the American people, looked them directly in the eye, in the camera, and said, listen, some of you are missing someone at your, I think he said, like your kitchen table, or, you know, at your table because they passed away from COVID. That hit me directly. That's something I have directly dealt with. If you guys have been listening for a while, you know that my uncle passed away. Both my aunt and my uncle had COVID. My aunt was okay, but my uncle didn't make it. And I was talking to my mom earlier today, and we're still shaking our head behind that. Like, we didn't even get to have a funeral for this man. It was just my aunt. And literally, her 2 kids, my cousins, who are, I'm just maybe a few years older than they are, we're all in our 40s. Like, we could not have a family funeral. Like, what is he passed away in April, at the height of when all of this was going on. And they're in New York, which was like a hot spot at that time. I still can't believe it. Like, this man, what? It's unbelievable. So that hit me personally. Then when he talked about, you know, people have dealt with family members, maybe even their children or whatever, that have dealt with substance abuse, that directly, I don't know any family that has not dealt with that. There has been substance abuse in my family. There has been abuse. Every single person I know, whether it was in their direct, immediate family or extended family, they have dealt with this. How dare you go on television and throw somebody's children into the fire like that? Especially with the background that he's coming with. It's just, there's just certain ways of being and decorum. I'm all about a president who gets down to business. I'm all about a president not being so perfect. Absolutely. But this is just downright damn disrespectful. And we can't do this for another 4 years. People complained about Obama. He was in there for 8 years. They didn't have nothing to say bad about these people. This president talked about Obama as if he was debating him on the stage. This man hasn't been in office for almost 4 years, and you're still talking about him. You're still mad. You're mad. big mad. Because his legacy is still affecting you. It's got you. It's in your neck and you can't handle it. Nobody is going to be perfect. No politician is perfect. It's politics. You know what I'm saying? I didn't agree with everything Obama had to say. I didn't agree with every single program that he brought to the table, but he had integrity. When you don't have anything else, you got your name and you got your integrity. You could fail at so many different things. You could be a bad father. You could be a bad wife. You could be a bad husband. But if you at least have your name, hustle for your name. Hustle for your integrity. I mean, come on. Nobody's perfect. But come on. This gotta stop. This has got to stop. And then you cannot definitively say that you do not support and encourage white supremacy. Oh no, you gotta go. You gotta go. Your services have been rendered. You got to go. So like I said before, I'm not forcing anybody telling you how to vote. I'm just stating my thoughts. Another 4 years of this, we can't let this man get his talons entrenched in this presidency another 4 years. We cannot. If you've never voted in your life, now would be the time. There are way too many people who died scrapping, hanging from light posts and trees, bitten up by dogs and sprayed down with water hoses for the right for us to be able to vote and to just be free. You cannot just throw something like that to the side. We have to get past some of these differences that we have going on. I have friends from all walks of life. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. This is not about that. This is not party lines. This is right and wrong. And what we've had going on for the past 3.5 years has been dead ass wrong. And we have to make a change. We have to make a change. I know that this podcast is probably going to be bumpered. I don't know if it's going to be before this. If you heard it before this or after this, you're going to hear information about, there's a couple of ads on here about voting. And if you've never voted before, or you never thought it mattered, or whatever the case may be, now is the time for your voice to be heard, because we need a change. This was a lot of where we were right before Obama was elected. And it wasn't even this bad. So get out to the polls. If you've done your absentee ballots, make sure that you get those ballots back. Vote early if you're able to vote early in the different areas. I know I have people listening all over the country. Vote early. Whatever that is for your state, it's not hard to find this information. If you could be all over Twitter and you could be all over Instagram, lurking on people's pages looking for information, well, you can lurk on Google and find out what you need to do to vote in your district. It's not that hard. We got to bring back a little bit of decency and order to the presidency. Because what we got going on right now, it can't continue. If you want to talk to me about it on social media, you can. I'm going to stop right here at Onyx Queen Media. If you want to email me, feel free. I'm always open to suggestions. If you have a subject matter or, a topic or something that you would like me to talk about, especially when it comes to business, my specialties are small business, branding, anything in the media, entertainment, that sort of thing. I do a lot of contracts in that area. So if people have questions about that, definitely hit me up. info@onyxqueenmedia.com, and then at Onyx Queen Media on all socials. Talk to you soon, you guys. Bye.